Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is I guess the very final video for now, at least, until Evil Dead Rise is announced, where we get a trailer of course, the Evil Dead. I don't have an Evil Dead shirt. I'm wearing a Pixar shirt, which is basically the complete opposite of Evil Dead, but whatever. I just got it, so whatever, suck it up. So this is my review of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. I finally finished the show. I have all 3 seasons. I have actually every single piece of Evil Dead media on Blu-ray and DVD, which is really nice. I got Season 1, 2, 3, this is 3, for, I don't know, like $15 total at the exchange, so pretty cool stuff. And really, hopefully I don't break that. Now that it's broke, what I want to do is just kind of review Season 3 and also kind of talk about different aspects of, I guess, this franchise, because it's kind of confusing for a lot of people. So first I want to talk about the canon of Evil Dead. So Evil Dead, or The Evil Dead in 81 or whatever, that is the first movie. And then Evil Dead 2 is a direct sequel. Army of Darkness, direct sequel. Evil Dead 2013, not a remake, it's actually in the same canon. Different universe, the whole book of the Necronomicon is kind of destroying and kind of tearing fabric, so there's these kind of like piecing pieces from, you know, this Ash Williams canon to this one. So it still is canon, it's just in a weird kind of paradox loop, I guess. And then, of course, we get Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is set approximately around 30-ish years after Army of Darkness, and all of that. So there's a lot to kind of take in with this, and this season is basically, well, it's the end of Ash, essentially. Unless Bruce Campbell is, because look, he's like 62, he's really not that old, and he's not that out of shape. I know he goes on Twitter, and he's like, oh, I retired Ash, I'm done with Ash, but he's not 99 years old, you know what I mean? He can easily come back and do one more movie, if he wanted to, like, you know, like a 2-hour movie, bringing Ash back for one more time, but so whatever. So we're going to, first and foremost, before we talk about the actual season, I just want to touch upon the ending and what I think about it. So if you have not seen Season 3, if you, or, you know, you just don't care about it, you know, whatever, I'm just warning you. So, essentially, Ash destroys Kandar, that big-ass, huge demon, you know, the coolest looking, I mean, look, Stars as a, you know, I don't want to say like project, but like, you know, a big area where they kind of, you know, a big channel where they kind of film the stuff kind of like Netflix and Disney Plus and all that. I can't imagine Stars as having a big budget, because some of the stuff, especially in Season 1 of the show, looked kind of poopy. Season 2 is alright. This is, of course, the best, you know, season for CGI. Not only because it's the last one, but this last episode, The Medal of Man, the CGI for Kandar, whatever, it's not the best, but it's not like, oh my god, this thing sucks, this looks like shit. You know what I mean? Like, it looks good. It looks good enough. And then you get to, you know, Ash destroying it and, you know, shooting the Kandarian dagger right into its mouth, and then it falls and hits the tank that he's in. And we think Ash dies. Of course, he gets kind of picked up by one of the Knights of Samaria. And he's basically whisked away into a big, you know, almost like Dying Light GRE facility, right? Where, you know, like, Aiden, freaking in Dying Light 2, you know what I mean? Like, he opens the GRE crates with the lock thing. That's what it looks like. And Ash is in there. He's got great temples, so, you know, he's a little bit older. Some time has passed. And basically, he wakes up, and this hot robot lady walks up and is like, hey, let's go. Ash has a brand new hand. He's got, like, kind of like the fixer from Book of Boba Fett, that dude. I don't remember his name, the black guy. He's like the Jamaican-looking dude. I don't remember his name. He fixes people up in that show like Fennec Shan, and Ash has like these few little, you know, kegs and cogs in his hand. And then she's like, hey, come here, let's go. I'm going to show you the car. His Delta's back. It's rigged up like Hail to the King is written on it. Looks insane. And, you know, Ash, of course, he's a father. We'll get to that. He says, where's Brandy? Where's my daughter? And, you know, Lex, I think the robot, not Lex Luthor, Lex the hot robot girl, says, oh, we'll talk about it on the way. And then Ash just says, Groovy, he starts the Delta car up, and then it ends. So, this was not supposed to be the end of Season 3. I think we all know that if we follow this franchise, right? There was supposed to be initially 5 seasons of the show. However, we only got to 3. Because it was on the dipshit program called Stars, and no one watched Stars. It's apparently very hard to even watch the show. That's why I bought it on Blu-ray for like 15 friggin' bucks. You know what I mean? So, look, if they put it on Netflix or HBO Max, which is where the new Evil Dead Rise movie will be at, you know, we would have gotten 5 seasons. But nonetheless, we got 3, so whatever. It sucks, but what do you want to do? So, again, they were setting up, you know, post-apocalyptic Ash, you know, finding Brandy, probably Kelly and Pablo, and, you know, they're going to go attack and kill the Dark Ones and the Deadites and, you know, the Book of the Dead and Necronomicon, all that stuff. So this was going to continue, but it didn't. So the ending that we have in this season is, as far as we know, unless Bruce comes back, the official canon ending of Ash Williams' story. And that being said, the fact that I know they're leading up to more, But the fact that this is definitively, unless he comes back, the ending of Ash, I think this was a damn good way to end it. Because Ash, you know, the Evil Dead always started out as horror, right? So having Ash kind of, you know, sail off into the sunset permanently with a freaking beer or, you know, whatever, it wouldn't have worked, you know what I mean? Evil Dead, yeah, it's got some comedy, yeah, it's got some action, yeah, it's got some drama, but it is horror for the most part. So I think that having this show definitively end with Ash riding into the sunset, quote, you know, the burnt out sunset, because it's post-apocalyptic shit, but you get what I'm talking, you know what I mean? He drives out, you know, where's Brandy? We're going to find out. Where's Kelly and Pablo? They're probably either dead or they're still fighting Deadites. But, I mean, what an awesome way to end this show and his character, you know what I mean? Ash never wanted this to happen, but it happened, you know what I mean, in that first film. He, you know, the dead was awakened, and he has been fighting it for 30 plus years, and the fact that yeah, you know, I get it. He doesn't get to just sit back and, well, we killed all the evil, whoa, you know, he doesn't get to do that. But at the same time, it would have been weird if that happened, you know what I mean? The fact that he is riding off into, again, the destructive sunset in this awesome new version of the Delta, you know, with this hot robotic chick, you know, that's a pretty cool way to end his character, you know what I mean? The fact that it's like Batman and Joker, you know what I mean? Every iteration is different. Lego Batman movie, Dark Knight, DCEU, new Batman with, you know, Robert Pattinson of Jokers and that. You know, every version of Joker and Batman has something different. And it's like they're always destined to fight each other, you know what I mean? And this is kind of the same thing. Ash Williams was literally born in this world to fight and kill evil and kill Deadites. And the fact that this show ends with him literally doing that, you know, it's like a never-ending cycle, you know what I mean? It's like Bart Simpson never growing up. Or Ash Ketchum from Pokemon never growing up. Or, you know, the ninja from Ninjago never becoming 99-year-old people, you know what I mean? In the canon, Ash is just, he's always going to be fighting Deadites, you know what I mean? And yeah, he gets older and he's going to die probably, and, you know, because he's an old dude in the show already. But, you know, the fact that it does end with him literally taking up the mantle again, so to speak, just kind of going out and keep going, you know, that is awesome. And I think that, yes, we should have gotten more. But what we ended up with, again, just him going off, continuing his journey, I think pretty cool. So, you know, that's my thoughts on the ending. Yes, we should have gotten more, but the stuff that we do have, I think it works. So going back to, you know, Ash's daughter, Brandy, which is kind of effing cool, you know what I mean? They kind of talk about that, which is really nice. You know, we get Ruby, you know, she's back, you know, because Season 2 had the whole time travel thing, and now we're kind of stuck with evil Ruby. And she's trying to essentially resurrect the Dark Ones using the Necronomicon and all that cool stuff. And, you know, she's a good villain. I think she is Baal, B-A-A-L, I hope that's how you spell it. Baal was good in Season 2. However, Ruby, you know, ever since Season 1, she's been the Thanos, she's been the Palpatine of this Evil Dead show, and, you know, the franchise and canon. So I think that having her be the evil one is actually pretty cool. And seeing that moment when the Dark Ones come back, and she's like, she says something like, Ash, you know, the prophesized one, Ash, will destroy you. That's a great scene, because she's not an idiot. She knows that the Dark Ones are above her. And if the Dark Ones are going to kill her, she's not going to wimp out like a biatch. She's going to say, look, Ash, the freaking prophesized dude, basically the chosen one, the Anakin Skywalker of Evil Dead, he's going to effing kill you guys. And then they just throw her to the ground and blows up in a dust, you know what I mean? Very cool character, very cool stuff. I really enjoyed that. Pablo was really, you know, cool in this season. He's more utilized, you know, he's got the Sumerian writing all over him from Season 2, and he's basically like the human book, you know what I mean? Them demons don't want to F with him, and, you know, Kelly's there, I guess. She isn't in the season that much. She's mostly being possessed. She does come back in the end, and she kills a few deadites with a gun, so that, you know, it's kind of cool. But in terms of where Kelly and Pablo are, in, you know, in the post-apocalyptic kind of ending scene, we don't necessarily know. I'm assuming they're still alive, so there you go. But again, I like that it's open-ended, and you can kind of interpret what's going to happen. And we do know Brandy's alive, because, you know, Lex would have just said she's dead, you know, so you know, whatever. Either she's captured by the Dark One, she's plotting revenge against them. I would have to assume that, because Brandy's pretty freaking smart and hot. But we get to that whole element of CGI, which I want to touch upon. This, for a TV show budget, it's not that bad, but this is the best season so far. You know, there are some things it should improve upon, but I think that for the most part, I'm looking at it, all right, it's pretty good. Probably the worst CGI is in, I think, the second to last episode where Brandy's in the shack next to Ash's house, and, you know, she's on her phone, and the freaking phone, like, bites her thumb and kind of turns alive. That kind of looked like crap. But other than that, not too bad. I think, you know, Kandar, the big demon, and you know, you had to get that right. If that looked like shit, you were done. You know what I mean? You were literally done. Like, if, you know, this is not only the ending of the show, it's the ending of the entire canon for Ash. You know, ever since 1981. So if you make Kandar look like dumpster fire, poo-poo, that's not going to look very good, you know what I mean? So at least their budget was kind of cool, you know, seeing the airplanes kind of, you know, shooting and blowing stuff up. That was cool, you know what I mean? It was kind of like World War III with zombies, you know, so that was kind of neat that it kind of showed a global effect of, you know, what Ruby and the Dark Ones were doing with that. And again, overall, this was a great season. I think that probably... you know, it still got that comedic timing, still got the funny stuff, you know what I mean, still got really neat element, but I think introducing Brandy as Ash's daughter really not only humanizes Ash as a character, but also kind of makes the whole mythos of this franchise a lot more interesting. You know, it's not just Ash is smoking blunts and he's drinking beer and he's killing deadites, you know, that's not the whole thing. Now we have this other element that, you know, he's trying to kind of be a father, you know, he's trying to kind of assert himself into Brandy's life and be like, don't do drugs, don't do that, don't do don't do what I do, you know what I mean? And the fact that he gives her the necklace that he gave, I think Linda, or one of the girls he wanted to date in the first film, kind of unique, kind of neat. You know, we get the whole one by one we will take you all, which was in the first film, which is really cool, and it's in the remake, so that was interesting to see. But again, as a bookend to this franchise, I think it was really freaking awesome. This is, honestly, Ash vs. Evil Dead is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen, period. Animated, live action, it's good. Now, if you can stomach gore, it's fantastic. If you can't, and you puke with gore, or, you know, I don't because I'm not some kind of sicko, but it's fake. You know what I mean? It's either CGI, or it's fake. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? They're not going to kill people and cut people's stomachs open and be like, okay, perfect, get the paramedic. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. It's all fake, so still whatever. But, I think, honestly, you know, for all the blood and gore and guts that are in this entire franchise, probably the most disturbing thing in this entire show, out of all 3 seasons, is the quote-unquote school shooting that happens, which is not a shooter, it's evil Ash, you know, that is born from this baby that Ruby was... gave birth to, I guess, was born, I guess. You know, he kind of... we've seen it before. Good Ash, bad Ash, you know what I mean? From Army of Darkness... other moments of the show, and then we finally get, I mean, I didn't, like, throw up, but I mean, it was kind of like, shit, this is effed up, you know, this is really effed up, when he's kind of, you know, taking the chainsaw and he's just mowing down students at a prom, you know, I mean, it's effed up, and that was probably the only moment where I was like, alright, maybe that's a little bit too far, you know what I mean, like, when you involve just murdering children or teenagers in school, you know what I mean, because we've seen that with school shootings, and it's obviously completely fucked up, and I can only say that because it's an adult-rated video, and it's true, it is. So seeing, you know, a reminder of that, and I've never experienced that shit. Hopefully I never will. But I think that, you know, hopefully none of that happens ever again, because it's horrible. But I think that being reminded of that, you know, like demons aren't real, or maybe they are, I don't know. But they don't, like, you know, that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, if Alan comes over and we hang out, or a future girlfriend comes over and she's a deadite, that's never going to happen. You know, never. So I think that is the most realistic part. That was the most part that, wow, that, you know, that kind of got to me. And again, I never experienced something horrible as that, but I don't know, maybe I'm weird. That was just the one moment out of the entire effing franchise where people are getting heads blown off and, you know, everything you can think of in the book, it's in this show and franchise in terms of violence. And that was the one that got to me the most. So I don't know, I guess that proves I'm still human and still good, because if I enjoyed that, I'm probably going to go to hell myself. But I do think that overall, you know, it was a good episode. It was just kind of disturbing in that, and I guess they succeeded in that, but it was very funny, the entire show. Very funny, action-packed, had some good drama. I almost teared up at the very last episode when Ash is saying goodbye to all of his friends, you know what I mean, saying, you're the Hefe now. Lots of cool stuff there. But overall, man, this has been a fantastic effing franchise, man. The movies, the reboot, the TV show, it's all fantastic, and I'm really glad I got into this franchise. I cannot wait for Evil Dead Rise coming out, apparently this year on HBO Max. I'm going to have to subscribe for that and review that, because I cannot freaking wait for that. I don't know where in the lore that takes place. We'll have to find out. But still, tell me in the comments down below what your favorite Ash vs. Evil Dead season is. Mine would probably have to be either 1 or 3. I like them all. That's what I would choose. And then what's your favorite Evil Dead film, including the 2013 version? Alright, thank you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed all these Evil Dead videos. I know it's been a while, but I have to watch it. So I finally did, and I'm very glad I can add the Evil Dead franchise to my collection of growing franchises. Again, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen, and I can't recommend it enough if you can stand the gore and the blood and all that. But I think it's a very good show for a very good franchise. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.